Your whole life is about to change. Let me tell you. Let me tell you from a place of being in that right now. So, I'm here in Ireland in this like portal right now. I'm in this other dimension in this portal where it's like for so long now, for the past year or so with my therapist, I've been talking about how, I've been in this birthing canal. Yesterday, oh my gosh, I'll show you here. I was there for the birth of two baby cows. Another one was born the day before. Yesterday was intense. Let me tell you about yesterday. I'll tell you about everything. Also, I think I have the VID, that illness. I'm sweating. My neck hurts. This is such an intense, crazy time. Yesterday, I was on my farm, my family farm in Ireland. That's why I came here. Was to set up my tent, was to relax. I came here to just like chill, heal my ankle. Now my van is broken down. It's still at the mechanics, still waiting for it to be fixed. And I'm staying with these family friends who have been so wonderful, so generous, and like just the most kind, like manifestations of really like, what is the word? Just divine masculine and feminine energy, like super nurturing, super providing, like just so kind. And so I've just been sitting in this portal of that and waiting and trusting divine timing. And I was on the farm and I built my tent on the farm, but I have not stayed in the tent because my van isn't working. So I don't want to stay there without a vehicle. It's like, it's not really close to anything. I can't really walk much right now. So I spent the day there, which I've done a few times now, and then my family friend comes and he was super kind, dropped off some protein bars out of nowhere with a coffee, and he's like, here you go. Also, I'm gonna come get you in 15 minutes because you hear that helicopter right now? I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, there's two men that are on the loose right now. They caught one, this car crashed, they were being chased by the cops, the car crashed just down the road, and two escaped, and they're running through the fields with knives and weapons, and I was like, what? What's crazy is that I was just on the phone with my dad and we were talking about how safe the area is. It's like such a safe area. I was like, I feel really safe here. I was like, I don't know, like I think that I'm fine to stay in the tent and like without the car, it's so safe. And then that happened and I was like, oh, maybe it's not as safe as I thought, or maybe I'm just not meant to, like maybe that order of me having that conversation. I was on the phone with my dad when the family friend came, and so it was so clear that it was like the universe was like, no, don't stay here. Pretty much is like, don't be here right now by yourself, at least. And I don't even think it's about safety. I think that I'm meant to be moving onto whatever the next thing is, and I don't really know what the next thing is yet because I don't know when the van will be fixed. And so I'm just kind of waiting, and I'm waiting for the door to open, and I just keep saying, God, open the door that is meant for me, and I will walk through it when you show me what door is meant for me. So that was wild. And then they picked me up, brought me back here, and then I'm sitting on the couch because they had to leave. Everyone in the neighborhood was like hiding in their homes. And they were hiding in this forest, like right here. And the cops were trying to find them. And so they had to leave. So I was just here with the dogs. And then they called me and said, hey, can you go check on the cows? They're in labor. One of the neighbors drove by and saw the legs out. So I was like, oh my God. So I got there with a knife. Here. I go there with a knife. And I am there for the birth of these cows, which was like so beautiful. And I helped pull out a baby cow because the second one was stuck, the head was stuck. And that was an experience. I was there for the birth of I'm in so much pain from this illness. And anyway, it was wonderful and magical. And my brain was just like on one last night because it was so much. And I was also getting sick. So your whole life might be, going through this crazy portal. I just keep sitting with this and I'm like, did I take a wrong turn? Like, was I supposed to stay in Italy? And then divine communication is like, no, you knew that you were meant to leave. You're in the right place at the right time. I'm like, this is the right place. It's so confusing. Like, so much has been happening. And then I check in with myself and I'm like, how am I handling it? I'm like, well, I'm fine. Like, it's hard, but I'm fine. And so as we go through these hard things in our life, we learn a lesson with it, right? And so then we're downloaded with a code the frequency of that lesson, you wouldn't be handed anything you can't handle. And so everything that's happening right now is like charging you up with the frequencies and the codes that you need in order to go into this new timeline. The more that you can release resistance and trust divine guidance and trust that you would never be handed anything you can't handle, the easier the process will be of getting there. And if it's really hard and really crazy and really chaotic, just know that you're about to do really big things in the world. And so maybe you've had that feeling that you have a big purpose and reason for being here on earth. Like whenever I would check in with my divine team, I would always be like, what's my reason for being here on earth? And I haven't done this for a while because like I'm pretty clear now. Not that I feel like I am the one savior of earth. I think so many of us, like I feel like every single person watching this video has the same code, and it's also a big part of my astrology. I forget which part of my astrology, but I've had astrologers and psychics tell me this too. But I feel like my reason is to save the earth, like to save the world. And that's in my own way. So the only way that we can save the world is to be in our full authenticity, to follow our joy and follow our curiosity, and to show up in our authenticity. And that code that you give people when you're in your authenticity will save the world. It will change the world. It will show people what's alive in them and calling them. And when everybody starts to wake up, like it's a very, very, very small amount of people on earth who are actually like aware of their truth and living in their truth, or like mostly living in their truth. And that, I forget the stat, I don't even know how there's a stat on this, but there was, also that's my elbow making that noise. There's a stat on this, like how many people, it was like hundreds of thousands, one person can influence by being in their authenticity, like in their truth, and creating and being from that place. So I follow, like I've shared this many times, when I look at the people that I follow online, they're so different. I follow like a Christian girl who loves to bake and home make. I follow van life people. I follow people who sail the world. I follow, fitness Aussie girl who makes a lot of businesses. And like, so they're all very different. But the thing that I love about all of them is their authenticity. And when I feel them kind of shift out of their authenticity, I realize that I don't watch them at that time, and then I'll kind of get the hit like, oh, they're back, they learned what they had to learn, they're back in their authenticity, and I'll check back in with them and I'll be like, oh yes, this feels good in my nervous system. People who live in their authenticity feel really good in a lot of people's nervous systems. However, when you are standing in your truth and in your light and you are showing up fully as you can also be very triggering to other people, because you light up the tunnels in everyone else and the places that they have never looked before. And sometimes they have to face parts of themselves that they don't want to face. Like they've been wanting, a part of them has been like, set me free, set me free, set me free. I want to travel the world. I want to start this business. And then they finally see that part of themselves because you're shining light on it. And they're like, I don't want to face that. That's too much. That's too heavy. That's too scary. So doesn't matter. You might drive people crazy and they might run away from you. They might fall in love with you. Like, just let people go crazy in your presence. All that matters is that you find your truth in the things that you are moving through, and find the joy and find the curiosity, no matter how crazy your life is. Like, I love my life, even though it's so wild. Right now, it's so wild. I'm like, this is where I'm meant to be. And that is that. And that is why, I love sharing about it and showing up from this place in it. And like, as I make these videos, like right now, I don't feel sick. When I turn this off, I'm going to be reminded that I have a fever and that I don't feel well. But whatever comes through when I share these messages, it heals me. It heals my body. And I when I'm on the farm in Italy and I would go out at nighttime or like in the evening and it would be cold, it would start getting cold and colder. I wouldn't feel the cold when I would be making these because of whatever frequency is coming through. And I just allow myself to expand in my stream of consciousness. And so I hope that is what you needed to hear today, and the permission that you needed to allow yourself to expand in whatever it is that you need to expand in, and to accept that whatever you're going through is divine intervention. It is divine timing. It is perfect. It is what you were meant to go through. You would not be handed anything that you cannot handle, and you are on your way. Your life is about to change so much. Maybe you were calling in big things, and maybe you know that you're meant to save the world in your own way. That's why you had to go this way. This is the best way. This is the fastest way. This is the way that will get you exactly where you want to go. You've been trying to manifest your dream life, call in everything that you desire. It's right there. You're having a breakthrough. That means you have to go through. Do not turn away. Do not let yourself get distracted. Pick yourself up. No one else will do it for you. You have to hold yourself accountable. You are the one that has to do this work, and you are doing it, and you are almost there, and you are there, and everything is happening in time and space, which are not real. So infinite possibilities, infinite timelines. Tap into the timeline that you desire to be in, and then you will start seeing all the opportunities on how to get there. Tap into that frequency as the most often that you can. Okay. I'm gonna go lay down. Also, let me make sure we're still, yes, storage issues because of Wi-Fi issues. You know how it goes. I feel a shift, many shifts, but last night I felt a shift. I made this free guide. I invite you to it if you would like it. It is called the Wealth Wound Guide. So many people have downloaded it. I can't believe, like, all day my phone goes off and download. And that feels better than anything else, like better than any of my other programs. Like, I love my other programs. They're my babies: 21 Days to Rewire Your Mind, To Know Your Divine Guidance, Decondition, Wealth Rewired, Healed. All these programs, like, they're a part of me. They're so easy to talk about because they're things that I've gone through that I packaged up and like wanted to give to the world. But having something that is free, that is just purely like service to others, and is like it was enjoyable to make, that process, I'm like, well, that feels really, really good. And that has lit me up and lit up my joy and my curiosity. And I'm like, okay, well, what does it feel like to make more free stuff like that, other than like videos and whatnot, more like free resources and programs and whatnot? So I've been sitting with that. I'm like, huh. And then I was like, okay, if I do that, then what else do I want to do? And then I started talking to some brands that I really, really love and would like be so stoked to partner with them. And knowing that the feeling is mutual is like so exciting, and it lights me up. And so sharing about products that I love and getting like being in my feminine and receiving those products that I love, and, profit like money for it as well. That sounds so fun. And then being able to also like offer free resources more and more on my channel, and having this like flow of abundance and joy and like receiving and giving. I'm like, oh, that's the flow. And of course I'll still have my programs, that are not free because that is part of my business. That is like what funds how I travel the world. But yeah, I was just sitting with this. I was like, I see this flow, and it feels so good. And so I've been following that. So if you see more product and sponsored thingies in here, it's because I'm super lit up about it, because I want to partner with these companies and want to share brands that I love. And also I am going to be sitting with like what other free resources. I've been, strangely enough, super called to TikTok. So I've been making a ton of TikToks, and that feels really good too. So in this portal of me, this has all been since I've been in this house here for like 2 weeks in Ireland, and just kind of like not stuck here, but also kind of stuck here. And just in this like receiving from these wonderful hosts that I have, and like feeling super safe here and all that, I've been able to get these downloads and to follow them. And so it's brought me to TikTok. It's brought me to this new flow of creation, of giving and receiving. So I see how there is so much divine order in chaos. So I'll link all that below, especially the Wealth Wound Guide. I will link that first if you want to download that free resource. If you want to join any of the other programs, they're there as well. If you want to find me on TikTok, it's just Araya, a mentee. Same as Instagram. I'm always on Instagram, always putting stories, not as many posts, because like what I shared recently. I love talking to you guys. I love this because I can just ramble forever. That whole thing with Instagram, whenever I make a post, it feels kind of like what it felt like dating a narcissist. It doesn't feel as good. TikTok, it's like, yeah, whatever, I don't care, I put it up. And I could get to that place on Instagram too, but I'm just not there yet. YouTube, I feel like these are my people, you guys are my people. I've always loved and wanted to be on YouTube. I knew this was very soul aligned. So anyway, that's what's been running through my head. Let me know what's running through your head in the comments below. Let's connect. If you're still here, give me a fox emoji. I didn't realize there's a fox emoji. I've been seeing so many foxes in Ireland. There's a lot of interesting light bulb. There's a lot of symbolism in foxes. And the one that kept coming through that I was like, I don't know if this is it, but it's to be vigilant and to like be aware of your surroundings, and you know, being on my farm and thinking about like being there in my tent and seeing that fox was visiting me in my tent, like just a few feet away, like coming up to me and my dogs while I'm in my tent on the farm. And the message is to be vigilant of your surroundings. And then there's this situation of these drug people running through the field with knives and like this other like weapon. It's like not a samurai weapon, but it's like, you can't have guns here, I don't think. You might actually be able to, I don't know. But they had like serious weapons. And so they live down the road from the farm, like, and they're doing drug stuff all the time. And so I don't think that this is the place for me to live. I love this. I love the history here of my family, but I feel that I need to continue moving on, and I feel that the fox was a great little messenger of that. I don't know. I'm going to see whatever comes from this situation, but give me a fox emoji if you're still here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.